Hello, hello, and welcome to our lovely art stream. Now, obviously, we've got a couple of wonderful things going on. First and foremost, I'm not a PNG tuber anymore, like a whole VTuber. This particular one is a little temporary at the moment while I'm working on some other things in the background. So for a little bit we'll have this one and then we'll get another one. But this is super cute. Oh gosh, I love this so much. So also, um, yeah, man. So a couple of things. With our style being kind of like updated and our looks changing a little bit, um, what will end up happening is the emotes in our Discord server they're gonna get a couple of like touch-ups and probably a couple of variations, honestly, as we're working through stuff. Um, as we're working through those, I'll post like sneak peeks and updates because we've got a character sheet that we're working on for our lovely looks here, you know. Don't mind me. I've been playing with this for the past couple of days. I love this so much. But let me see. Is there anything else? Oh, it's portfolio day. So if you are an artist and aware that it is April 8th of 2025, it's portfolio day. So make sure you go on your socials and go promote yourself. Today is like the biggest day to go promote yourself, to get work and that sort of thing. And that's important. We're all very busy individuals, but portfolio is a good way to promote your stuff, which a lot of us don't like doing. We don't like talking about ourselves, so it's one of those things. Alright, so for today, what we're gonna end up doing is our boy Cabbage over here in the corner over there. Um, he's getting his big form today. We're gonna be working on some concepts and figuring out what he looks like. I've had a couple of ideas as I've been kind of like thinking about it this morning. Um, so we'll get there and we'll see just how we're looking, how we're doing. Oh, okay, before we get into that, hang on. Let me show you what I look like all the way. Ta-da! I've got a whole tail now too. I match our little buddy here in the corner. Cause this is also red. I'm red, that's red. We're both red. We'll go back down here. So we've also got new music going on too. We're giving this one a try, and we're gonna see how we end up liking it. So far, I've been liking this playlist, and it's a very long playlist. So we'll see. All right, so let me swap back. Yep. Let me swap back to the flip. And we're gonna rotate. We're gonna rotisserate our canvas here. And then we'll get concepted. Where is it at? Canvas, rotate and flip canvas. I can read. Alright, here we go. So, obviously we've got our little dude on the desk, but for me to be able to see it, I've got our original sketch here. And then once we kind of go through that, we'll get it going. Let me see, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Did I forget something? I don't think I did. Okay, so we go through stuff. And stream should work a little better. I'm able to like kind of open and close a couple of different tabs that I wasn't able to before, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that ends up working right. Okay, so let me that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to close that. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Alright, so for Cabbage, which is what chat named him, and honestly, I really like the name. So for Cabbage, I'm thinking of maybe something along the lines of maybe something similar to like what you would find in Monster Hunter. I've never really played Monster Hunter, but I've seen enough of the art of the monsters or like people concepting other monsters into, or even just regular animals or Minecraft mobs, into different Monster Hunter creatures. So I kind of got like a vague idea of what they should look like, which is a big and brutal looking. But our boy, obviously, he's some kind of like sea creature. So I think we're gonna have him be, because he has gills, but he's sitting on my desk. So I'm thinking maybe he is a degree of semi-aquatic, where when they're born, they're a little more breathable through their nose, which he doesn't have, but they're a little more breathable through their nose, and then as they get older and they grow and they enter into the ocean, they end up using their gills a lot more. So there's that, and then because of his like these little kelpies, I'm thinking maybe his place of residence, what he calls home, is a kelp forest. I think that would be a lot of fun to try and kind of incorporate more of the kelpies and this fluff, which might end up changing into more of like a kelp mane. Just get it to match a little bit. And since he's gonna be so big, you know, I think it would work out pretty well with a kelp forest. So far, I like this playlist a lot. Good vibes, good music. Okay, so I apologize in advance. There's gonna be a lot of flipping back and forth. So what I ended up getting rid of was this plate here on his face. I might add that back. And then he's got like a belly kind of coloring. And let me see. I've also got string pulled up to the side so I can kind of look at his colors there too. And then I'll probably have to pull up something if we get the colors to that. So let's see. No, I didn't like that line very much. There we go. Okay, so what is happening with the pencil? There it goes. Okay. Alright, so we've got our circle that I don't like because the pen's being weird. Why? Am I on the wrong one? Is that? There it is. I was on the wrong size. Okay, so we've got kind of his head here. So how do we wanna elongate his snout? He's a very thick, chunky snout. He's got more of like a, not a shark, I guess kind of a shark, vibe. So I might end up making his face pretty angular, I think. So I'm gonna focus on first is figuring out the profile of his face, and then we'll go from there. So I like this line right here, so I'm gonna darken this out just a little bit. And I think because he lives in an environment where he is going to be chasing things himself, he's going to need some pretty thick teeth that probably end up growing out, because you're going to want to be able to trap things in your jaws to, you know, to eat. So I think he'll end up with protruding jaws, similar to kind of like an anglerfish, how we kind of think of how they might look. kind of something like that. And then his teeth would maybe end up like this. Though I may try for a more needle look. Maybe? I don't know. I also kind of want his mouth open as we're doing this. But I do like this lower jaw, so we're gonna keep this lower jaw. We'll add the curved divot that a lot of them have because their jaw goes back so far. No, now he looks like a bird. If I tilt it down. Make it a little bigger, and then... Okay, so if this is the backside of his jaw, his eyes would be kind of here, so we'll add in his, kind of like the skull eye socket. It should be kind of something like this. Your mouth typically ends somewhere beneath your eye, kind of typically mid-range. So we'll go like this. Big jaw. And now it's okay. Alright. We'll let go of the jaw. I'm trying to keep it. It's not working. So let's try again. Big thing about doing concepts is you can't hold on to everything, but you can keep them in mind so you can bring them back. How his bottom jaw's not too thick. Oh, here's the other thing. Does he have to be? He doesn't have to be a carnivore, I don't think. Maybe he's an omnivore. In which case, this kind of like flat palate mouth might work for it. Maybe he's just very territorial when he's older. Imp, hey man! How is it going? Thick tic-tac-tee. So much thought put into things, it's going awesome! And good things are going. So yes, this is about to be a very, very talkative stream of me trying to figure out concept things. Concept art is like one of my big like side passions. It's what I wanted to do for a career for a little while, but then we've moved into like the comic stuff, so it's one of those things where we're trying to like balance it out. But you can't be a a concept artist and a comic artist, and we wear a lot of hats, so it's just one of those things. You can be anything you want to be. Exactly. I'm thinking I like the ocean omnivore approach. Where he looks big and spooky, but he's not overly big and spooky. Is this... No, okay, this is a... So I know this song, and so I had to go look and make sure that that wasn't the actual song. Oh, the copyright panic got real loud. Alright. No, it's fine. Someone did a cover. It says streamer safe. We'll find out. I guess he's got more of like a turtle face in this specific thing. Oh, by the way. Oh? What's up? Watched the start of that horse anime you recommended, and I was a bit confused, expecting horses, not horse girls. Oh! Listen, I completely understand that. When I loaded it up, right? Because for the most part, what I had seen of it was people comparing the running animation to Blue Lock and how this like really cute horse girl anime was like the running animation was so much better than Blue Lock's, and I was like, that's really confusing, but let's see, let's go. And it started and I was like, oh, they're talking about like Izeki horses, but they're horse girls, and I was like, oh, that's okay. Set my horse loving partners down, and I was like, let's check out this DJ recommended a horse. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the confusion. Listen, the races in that anime still go super hard, like far beyond what they have any right to. Oh, that reminds me. I've been watching Our Flag Means Death too, by the way. I think I got to the end. Yeah, I hit the end of the first season the other day. And the entire time that was happening, like those last 2 episodes, I was like, dude, did Imp recommend me sad gays? I was gonna be so upset. I was like, dude, this sad. But we've got Feral Blackbeard instead, and honestly, I'm here for Feral Blackbeard. So did I not say it would pull out all the emotions? You know what? You did! I'll give you that. You did. I did not expect sad. Oh, it's the eraser. They kissed, and I was like, bro, let's go! And then immediately, not even 5 minutes later, it got so sad, and I was like, dude! Okay, let me get rid of this line. This line is bugging me. Okay, so I've got a very, like, dinosaur-looking face at the moment. Which is never a complaint. Just a curiosity as to how this is going. So, because he's living in a kelp forest, I do think he's gonna be kind of chumby. Which you can't go wrong with chumby sea creatures. However, okay, I'm thinking too far ahead, because we're only doing. This is only going to be the side profile, so let me close off his neck a little bit, so I'm not tempted to keep going. And we'll zoom in, so we're not staring at the rest of our canvas like, ooh, free real estate. Get rid of this. So, with his mouth, he's got his teeth showing, but since he doesn't really have teeth in this particular... Because I got rid of his teeth. He originally had teethies, I will say, in this one. This is our, like, base starter sketch. that we have. But obviously in the, with him on our desk, he doesn't have his teefies. His jaw's just a little pointed. So, no teefies. So we might do kind of like how whales do? Or, oh, what is the animal? There is an animal that doesn't have, they don't really have teeth, but they have something else similar to like how whales have like the fibers in their mouth where they'll filter things out. They have something similar for their own teeth, and it looks really weird. I think we're gonna do that. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, I cannot think of what animal that is that has those. I don't think it's an elephant. An elephant doesn't have those. I know it's something big like that, though. Well, not quite that. Elephants are, I think, one of the biggest land mammals we have. What this stream is also going to show is how much of an animal nerd I am. Camels are... It might be camels, actually! I think I am thinking of camels. Camels do have really weird mouths. I think that's what it is. Him's got that ocean camel mouth. Trying to get his jaw fixed up a little bit. So if he's got those, you might be able to... Let me see. I gotta clean the lines up just a little bit so I know what I'm doing. Gotta clean the lines to get more lines. Oh, okay, I see. So I'm shrinking his teeth when I don't need to. So, let's try probably something more like that. And then we're gonna keep the kind of like the mouth swoop he has, but it's gonna be a little more gentler in the beginning. Maybe it's sharp because we said they were gonna start on land first, so maybe they eat like coconuts or something. And then you gotta kind of have a... Hippos, maybe? Also? Do hippos have teeth? Hippos have something. They have something wild going on with their mouth, too. Or they just have, like, the really intense... Oh, it's yeah. When you feed, like, a hippo a watermelon or something at, like, a zoo, they don't crush it with their teeth. They have teeth, but they don't crush it with their teeth. The muscles in their jaws and stuff are just that strong that they can just kind of, like, chomp down. They don't really have a soft palate. Or they do have a soft palate, but it's really strong. Oh no, I got rid of what I liked about the top of his mouth. Hang on. How did I reconnect this? Right here. We'll lower it just a little bit more, so it's still got that reminiscence of the kind of the curve of the jaw that he has. And then this kind of swings down a little bit, and we're gonna do that because obviously he's probably gonna have like a couple of wrinkles and stuff in his mouth. It's kind of something like this. Maybe not that many. Let's see, it swings down there, so maybe kind of like right there. Oh, yeah. And then we can kind of bring, like, this facial thing. These, like, face markings. Maybe they grow into those. I don't know what kind of creature he is, but hippos got big chomping teeth. They really do. Oh! I've remembered! It wasn't camels! Manatees! Manatees have big weird mouths! Because they're so friendly and nice that they've never had to evolve into, they've never had to evolve, like, basic, defense mechanisms. That's what I'm thinking about. Cabbage apparently is just gonna be some big manatee boy. Looks kind of Monster Hunter scary. No matter his size, him's just a little guy. So, his eyes... Oh my god, I added his eye. It's screaming manatee. That's it, this is the way. My brain knew where we were going, even if I didn't. Oh, my tablet disconnected. Dang it. Oh, come on. Did it mess up? No, it didn't. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. Don't shade nothing yet. So, I think I am gonna extend where his jaw connects just a little bit. A little more like that, and then him's a sea creature, and the way their bones connect to their bodies, a little different. So I'm gonna thicken his neck out a little bit. Because to be fair, if we're not giving him any kind of defense mechanism because of the manatee, or any direct one, he's gonna need something in this environment that we're crafting. So I think a good way to do it would be to thicken up his neck, because a thick neck typically implies that there is a means for an animal to be able to ram themselves into things. So if he's able to get a pretty high speed, which with his tail design, which is more shark-like than anything, then he should be able to just kind of like ram him stuff. Yes. I can big word. But he should be able to ram himself into stuff, to a degree where it's not gonna, like, injure his neck or anything. So, gonna go a little more like this. So, thick neck. And then it'll kind of make the head slope that he has a little better. There we go. And then his skull would kind of have this kind of bigger curve, so we've elongated his lower jaw. And then he won't have like actual nose holes. He'd have kind of like an ear. Would he have an ear? Fish don't really have ears. Sharks don't have... They don't have ears, they feel vibrations, so he won't... Well, do semi... Alright, we'll come back to that, because that one's gonna require a little more thinking, because if you're semi-aquatic, you might have ears, but if you're something like a shark, or, I mean, even just a regular fish, they don't typically have ears. How they kind of go about is through following light and through vibrations, which is why we know that sharks really like heavy metal music. Because the vibrations of metal music typically remind them of, like, hunting prey and stuff, is what we've determined. Now, do we want to give him multiple eyes? Does he grow more eyes? Do they open? Our big creature boy? His eyes are a little far back on this one. Yeah, they're a little far back. So his snout line is about there. Yeah, because that would be the top. That would be that. So his eye needs to be moved up just a little bit because your eyes connect to like your bridge line, and tilt it just a little bit. I think we might just leave it with one eye. Let's see. So do that, and then color it in. And then we'll take our eraser, add in just kind of like a shine to it. Okay, so maybe not quite there. I could do his shine, and then kind of similar to how he has his eye shines on the desk, where the color is the eye shine. Oh, there we go. Yeah, kind of something like that. So let me clean up these guidelines a little bit. And then, right here. And then we can make our eraser a little smaller so we can kind of get in between the sides here. Just so they're a little more legible for us. There we go. So we can throw a little more detailing on it. So we know he'll have a brow, which will be about there. And because we want to add in that design back. Oh, Sonia, hi! How is it going? How is it going, Sonia? Welcome to our lovely little art stream today. Where we're doing some big forms of Cabbage, who is our little buddy that's sitting on the desk. I dropped my phone, sorry. Oof, is the phone okay? Well, it's still good. Hey, we're drawing our boy Cabbage here on the disc. It's fine, landed on my face. Oof, love the drawing so far, it's adorbs. Oh, thank you! And we've decided that our boy isn't going to be a carnivore, so he's not gonna be, munching other creatures, but more of like a manatee, but just like a Monster Hunter styled manatee. So right now I'm figuring out kind of like how his adult face would look, and then we're gonna get into kind of like the bigger forms of him, I think. And kind of like how he might survive and stuff. OMG, I love the concept. Thank you! Oh, that reminds me, I gotta figure out where his tufts, his like kelp tufts, actually attach to the top of his head at some point. So, let me figure that out. So we got... So, if this is the... His head should actually be a little more shaped. Kind of like this. Because his neck would connect at the back of the skull. Because we were talking about how he might have a thicker neck since he's more... Well, I guess with the mouth we're giving him, he's more herbivore, actually, than omnivore or anything, so... Well... Actually, what is a whale considered? Are they considered, like... Are they considered omnivores? Or... Because they eat, like, krill and stuff, but they eat other stuff, too. I don't know. Things to consider. Okay, let me fix this line here. Whales eat shrimp. Right. So, if they eat shrimp and krill and stuff, are they considered carnivores? Do they eat... Because, I mean, they would also technically kind of absorb any plants that are in the water, too. As far as, like, algae goes. I meant krill, shrimp. Realistically, they're very similar. Oh, my tablet's freaked out. One moment, I have to unplug it and plug it back in. So, my computer will scream, and it will be mine and not yours. There it goes. Okay. There we go. Alright. As it do. Is it there? Okay. Alright, so let me clean him up just a little bit. No, don't pull that up. I know I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Don't pull up the software. I don't need the software open. Are you gonna give me problems today? Why are you always so mad at me? Bruh. I mean, if you're gonna have an error as I'm trying to close you, I mean, be my guess, I guess. Okay, there. According to Google, they are carnivores. You know, just, you could really mess up someone's day by walking up to a stranger and going, hey, guess what? Whales are carnivores. They'll be thinking about that all day. They really will. I'm gonna be thinking about that all day now. Oh, my little buddy. Okay. Okay, now we've got our line fixed, and... Okay, I see what it is. His eye shape isn't what we need. Neither is his brow, so we're gonna circle all of it. We're gonna do that, we're gonna erase it, we're gonna redo it so the proportions are right. Table flip! Yeah, that is definitely gotta be a way to ruin someone's day. It's just... Just like, hey man, guess what? They're carnivores. if I put it right here? I have to keep looking. I have stream chat pulled up on my phone, which is significantly easier than what I was doing before. See, it's making my eyes close a little more. Because I have to keep looking away from my little trackers. I'm trying to see how we can get this going. Maybe. Oh, did it freak out? What happened? I'll probably go lurk. I'm so sleepy. Definitely go get some rest! I only just noticed the egg your critter is holding, and I was worried you'd pull an alien on him with hatching. Time for you to spam with Discord messages. Yeah, the new egg that he's holding is gonna be the one for our next goal. It'll be a good time. There we go. Okay, I think, did I fix it? I'll reply after nap. Have a good nap, Sonia. Wanted to nap prevent like a real DM. Can't have that short rest, not a much. Oh man, it do be that way sometimes. Ooh. Oh, if you can hear that, that's Discord, I'm sorry. I think I might skip this one. Bye for now all. Have a good rest, Sonia. Okay, so if this is the cur, no, his cur. Trying to remember facial structures. My gracious. Okay. So let me get rid of this and this, because these would be different now that we're seeing the perspective on his face. Oh, Imp! Okay, I had a question. I meant to ask it, I think maybe yesterday. Was it yes? Yes, this was yesterday. Okay, I meant to ask yesterday, but then it completely slipped my mind, because I ended up getting busy, and then it was date night time, for me and one of my partners. So, is Twitch slow on updating statistics, just in general? Like, is that just a general thing? Because what's driving me absolutely crazy is after Saturday's stream, I ended up with the Who Watches the Watchers achievement, which you know is like the getting the 3 average viewers, which is the last thing I need. And Twitch hasn't updated for it yet, but it has updated the... So it gave me that achievement, and then on the overview, it was like, hey, you hit 3.0 or whatever, but on the actual affiliate thing, it updated to 2.98, and then I checked earlier and it's at 2.78, and I'm just like, bro, where did it skip? What did it do? But it doesn't have my full follower count either, so I have no idea what it's doing, other than thinking really hard. But I got the achievement, I think, a little bit last night, and I was like, dude, Did I do it? Did we do it? And I still don't know. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I didn't give him his I didn't give him his eyelids. Well, fish don't have eyelids. Do dolphins have eyelids? Well, I guess since we're doing manatee, we should try. Hang on. Now I have to Google it. It's time to Google. Do manatees have eyelids? Do any fish have eyelids? Can I feasibly give this thing eyelids? Or do they grow out of their eyelids after they enter the ocean? Let's see. My new phone, still getting used to it and finding where everything is. Okay, so we've got... Okay, do manatees have... Do they have eyelids? No, they have the special membrane that closes over their eyes. Okay. So kind of like a crocodile. And then we've got... Okay, do any fish have eyelids? No, fish don't have eyelids, of course, but they just mostly have the transparent overlay thing. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So let's get our eye back in here. So close that back in, close this back in, and then we can get our eraser back. And eye shine. There we go. So they don't have eyelids. So they're not gonna have like the wrinkly. Well, I mean, to be fair, this is a fantasy creature, and I can do what I want. What do I want to do about this? Do we give him eyebrows? Not eyebrows, eyelids. We don't give him eyebrows. Though I think his kelp pieces would probably get pretty long. So they probably trail. Oh man, he probably ends up with like a symbiotic relationship with the other fish and stuff, considering he's got like the kelp on his head. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be actual kelp, but it can. Oh, I don't like how that first hang on. But it probably could pull, kind of like how sharks have like the cleaner fish on them. Maybe he also has cleaner fish, and they're attracted to his big kelpy membranes here. So we do kind of like that. And then we also know that he's got kind of like the floof on him. So I gotta figure out where that starts and where that ends. Maybe he is just a ginormous kelp forest. Nah, I don't like how that looked. Am I gonna end up drawing all of these leaves? Oh boy. Yeah, maybe he is the kelp forest. I kind of like that. Just a giant mobile kelp forest. So let me pull this layer, and then so his brows would be there and there. And then he's gonna look a little fluffy. He's not supposed to be fluffy, but he's gonna look a little fluffy for a little bit. Until we can get our... Actually, no. I've got it. We'll do kind of like how a wet horse's mane would look. So it would, let's see, it would connect on the back of his neck and kind of flow this, kind of like this, where it would flow. So he would have a bunch of, he got like a whole, yeah, this is the way. He'd have like a whole, like, forest mane thing going on. Okay, kind of extend it out a little bit. Yeah. And then we can kind of add a reinforced, kind of add like his plating here. Oh, I forgot his frillies. I gotta add his frillies back in. Maybe they extend, become more tentacle-like, and maybe they are for, you know, figuring out his way around in the really dark areas. So let me, okay. I like this idea. I gotta clean them up a little better. Let me clean this up a little better. Get this one out of the way, and then we'll add it back in. So that's one kind of thick tendril, and then we add another one. And then one more. And maybe the lowest one is the longest one. And maybe he's got one more that grows in, right? Yeah. Alright, so let me get this one fixed a little better. And the edge of this one. Because kelp forests do get pretty dark, so they're gonna need a way to, you know, see when it is too dark even for their own eyes. Or maybe it's a way for him to be able to sleep and not have to worry about, you know, other things. So maybe they're sensitive to the vibrations of the ocean. I'm gonna have a lot of leaves to draw, and honestly, that's fine. So I think I'm gonna have these attached at his brow, I think is what I'm gonna do. In which case, this would flow more like this. Kind of come up in this fashion. And then I can kind of clean it up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Oh boy. This is gonna be great. Oh, I see our little tuber's kind of having a little struggle. Hang on. Why are we having a struggle? Let me move this. Kim's just blinking a lot. Okay, one second. Let me do something really quick. My little buddy will be right back. Okay, why are we freaking out? Now where is the setting for this? Mouse? No. UI... Where's this? Oh, I set it to that. It broke more. What? Okay. I'm gonna have to change something really fast. Okay, so do that. And we try and open it again. Oh, there it goes. It can be a little slow opening sometimes, I think. I love that Sonia's cat still just is dancing, but it dances very similarly to like the beat of the music, which is cute. The onion bugs doing their best and now preparing. Please wait. Okay, any luck? Why did— oh, it opened twice, and therefore it broke. It opened 3 times. Oh my god, why? Hmm. Pardon our technical difficulties. Okay, why is it, oh, why is it so broken? Okay, so if we go back to this. I think it's a little better. Okay. That should be... do this. Does this work for anything? Mm. Okay, on-stream troubleshooting. Okay, let me try this. And then if this doesn't work, we'll have to figure out how to get it to go. Maybe? What is the laptop's thinking so hard? Okay, there has to be like an extra one open in the back, and that's why it's super mad. Okay, so if I close this, and this, yes, okay, I see. That's what it was. Something got super mad, and it decided to try and break everything because it got mad. Okay, so let me go through and a bunch of stuff that's not supposed to be open. And then that thing's settle out. Yes, okay. So now we do that, and then we go into this. Click that. Okay, what happened? He's kinda... Why him tilted? Okay, that's... I think he's a little more fixed now, which is good. Yes, okay. Maybe? What happened to the music? Oh no, why is everything breaking? Why is everything so sad? Oh, oh, it was changing songs. Okay, I was like, bro. Please. But then we got it, okay. Oh wait, I forgot the... The DJ is gone, the music is still going. Yeah, I've been... we were having a little small issue with the tuber. I think I fixed it though, so let me put it back. Oh, or not? What happened? Oh, there it goes. Okay, it's like, bro. It was a little delayed, that's all. What? He was going so smooth. Why? My goodness. He was just a little delayed. Um... Hmm. There is only Cabbage now. Yeah. Oh, I think it fixed. Oh, thank God. Okay. It's like, bro. I don't know what it was doing and why it was being so bad. I think I got it fixed. My gracious. But hi, Kaiser. Welcome in. We're doing our big boy form of Cabbage today. Right now we're working on, well, after figuring out our technical difficulties, right now we're working on Big Boy Cabbage and what he might look like. What we've kind of determined is that he is a omnivore and kind of a big, his floof and his kind of like his kelpies on his head kind of grow into like essentially him being a floating kelp forest. So he'll probably have a bunch of little creatures growing and living on him and stuff, I think. So I'm looking at these and I'm not happy with them anymore. So I go through and fix them. So we go through and do that. So his cheeks get to look weird once more until I get them in. Okay. So maybe we'll make them a little thicker. Yeah. I like them like this. Okay. Never really breaking down the door to what I'm searching for. But I gotta keep on dreaming, so I keep the spark alive. Why do I keep believing when I've never seen the light? Yeah, I like this on him. Okay. So they will likely be kind of visible on this side too. So we'll kind of have them... but the lower one won't be. Actually, I don't know. Would only the top one be visible? Would it be visible? So his, yeah, be about there. And then the other one maybe kind of goes out that way. And then I apologize if you can hear the car riding by. People like to drive by with their music absolutely blasting. Okay, there's not enough motion in that one. There we go. Kind of add his face plating in, which I think is gonna trail into kind of like the lower section here of his. There we go. Though I'm gonna change the shape of this one. Yeah, that looks pretty good so far. And then I'll have it kind of swoop down like this. And then we know on... He has the desk stripies. Do we keep the desk stripies? Maybe the stripies break up the pattern a little bit? Maybe not right there. Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. So we've got... Yeah, we can kind of do it like that. Alright, so instead of doing a whole new start, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take him and his face. I'm gonna put it right there, real fast. We're gonna lasso it. And then we are going to copy and paste. We're gonna turn off that layer. We're gonna take this one, get rid of this. We're gonna shrink it down and we're gonna put it in the corner. Over here, shrink it down, put it in the corner. We're gonna turn it off, and then we're gonna take this one. We're gonna put it over here. We're gonna tilt his head up just slightly. Might shrink him a little more, actually. There we go. Then we're gonna work on his body form. So we know this is probably his... yeah, because his collar probably about here. So I should do this on a separate layer. Hang on. There we go. So we've got one arm here with his shoulder. And to keep with the manatee thing, we're gonna have them, his paws kind of get pretty big, because he's got to be able to paddle, right? And then, so that's his shoulder, so that's more of our line of action. So his spine, so let's see, the skull, the neck, the shoulder. His tail kind of goes that way. And then we did say he'd be kind of chumpy. But how chumpy? So we gotta raise this up a little bit, because them thighs would need to be kind of much bigger for the powerful swim. Okay, I think I'm gonna change his back leg up just a little bit. So let's see, his thigh would be, let's start here. His tail would be this way. I would swing this way and we'll, instead of shrinking him, what we'll do is, oops, we'll extend our canvas out. So we go to edit, change canvas size. Oop, let me put this box, because I don't want the box, I want this. Maybe about that size. Because then we can get his tail in a little better too. I might have to end up, yeah, we're gonna shrink his leg a little bit. But no, we'll draw it the right size. Nah, we don't really want his foot right there, I don't think. Would be maybe like right here. Getting his pose in. We can get his tail in. Yeah, we'll come back to his tail, I think. Oh, he's got a fin on the top of his tail, too. Alright, for the moment, we'll leave it like this until we come back to it. Because we do want to keep with the, you know, he's a big kelp forest man, so he's gonna have a lot of it on him. So let me extend all this back out. And then add more to it. Now that one ended up really straight. And head messed up. I'll say it kind of doesn't grow on his tail because it would kind of get in the way. It's only on the back of him. Don't mind me. I'm big thinking as to how I'm gonna get all these, the kelps in. For what was originally supposed to be a Monster Hunter kind of inspo, he looks so sweet and gentle. Alright, I'm going this layer. I'm gonna get rid of this here. Just a big unit. Okay, that's his body. This is the rest of those. That's fine. Okay, so we can merge those all together. Get rid of this here. So if we're gonna make him chubby, then he's gonna need the blubber chubby. So let's work on his legs a little bit. Okay, so we'll do it on the second layer. The graphics tablet has messed up once again, so it'll be my computer, not yours. There, okay. Oh, it just... Nope, there it goes. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay.
Sleepless nights, I try to run and got lost, too afraid to let go. Close my eyes, I know there is no reason to love you, running at the darkness inside.
We're getting there. We're getting there. And then the pops. Yeah, okay. Actually, let me get rid of this so I can kind of see a little better about what I'm trying to fix. There we go, that's one pause. So what I can do now is get rid of the underlayer one. So I can get rid of this one. So it's not too distracting as we're going through all the other stuff. Alright, now we go to the next paw, which will be, we're gonna do this front one here. So what I think I'm gonna do is lower the opacity so I don't have to think too hard about it. And I think we're gonna work on his... Oop. We're gonna work on his chest real quick. Watching Popcorn fight the end boss of Baldur's Gate 2 as well. Nail biting stuff. Ooh. I hope he succeeds on that. Is that the final boss that he's gotta beat before he moves to Baldur's Gate 3? I don't really like that line there. Ooh, that was a big eraser. I thought I would be able to, you know, do it just light enough to not have that problem, but no. I think so, yeah. Ooh! That'd be really cool! Actually, it would be his paw would cause the, yeah. Oh jeez. Okay, hang on. Trying to do like the chumby rolls, but his don't want to cooperate. Oh, that might be, I might have done it. And then his other... No, his other paw would show. Or his other toe. Okay, so I can kind of see what I did wrong. Is that a little better? Yes, except now his other toe is not even like it should be. You should kind of see it like right here. Oh, you might see it like that. Let's see. Yes, however, the back of his arm is not quite how it should be. So it would be more... like this, I think. Oh, I see what it is. Okay. Because I'm like, man, it still looks weird. I see. Okay. The angle in which his paw is going looks funny. That's what it is. It's the wrong direction. Okay, so if I get rid of this, and I So if I grab it... and zoom out a little bit so I can kind of pay attention. Alright, so if I put it up here... okay, if I tilt it down... oh, I kind of need to shrink it, huh? It's a little big. Okay, that might be it. That might be the way. Let's see. Put that back. Yeah. Alright. There we go. Alright, now where do I want to start next? Hmm.
If I pull you closer, would that be okay? You ain't like cigarettes and hurricanes. I started running, but I can't escape. It's just
I think we're gonna do his stomach. That's what we're gonna do. So let's see, this line goes through here. The okay, so it's not registering all the way because they're about even. So let me for this. So let's see. We have a chest that would sit about there. So let's see. So we need to round it off. Kind of like this, and then if we go like this. Alright, and then we clean it up a little bit. There we go. Now he looks even better. Now we gotta get his back leg in. But I'm gonna do this paw here first. So I do like this line right here. Mm. There we go. Okay, kind of get like a roll onto his foot because of how it would sit. Can we hint at another one? Let me lower that a little bit. Alright, now he's got his other foot. And now we go to his back leg. Well, his forward-facing back leg. No, that just makes it look like it's got a hard edge. Okay, so now we can go to his tail and we can figure out what we're doing. So we gotta thicken up his tail. And his, his fins are gonna have like the So now we've got to figure out how to get his, kind of like his shark tail in. That's actually not too bad. Instead of making it sharp, we can kind of round it all out. Chumby. Oop, that was my computer. My graphics tablet. Okay, so go to this one. No. This one. Oh, I'll just erase the underlayer. It's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, get rid of all of the underlayer that's on him, so I don't have to think too hard about it, except for what I need for his back. There we go. So now we figure out his back. So then... Yay! Look at him. Have you ever created art you never want to look at again, and inversely something you look at all the time? Ooh, I like this question. So, yes, actually. So as far as art I've never wanted to look at again, for the longest time, all of my older sketchbooks, had essentially my big art pieces in it, because I didn't know how to do those really big art pieces just yet. And maybe... Okay, so let's see. I started drawing, like, really putting time into it when I was about 12, 13. And so anything from then to about maybe 15, I was not a super big fan of at all. Every time I look back at them. However, my perception on that has changed quite a bit, because I have no backlog of artwork anymore due to life reasons. So luckily I have pictures of everything, but I don't have any physical copies of anything anymore. So it's I'm on the in-between, because I would actually love to have those physical copies, but I just never want to look at them again, if that makes sense. Something I look at all of the time, actually, that's actually really funny, because what I have on my dresser right now, like, it's the bed, space, then the dresser, so on the mirror attached to it is a piece I did last year. It's very rare these days that I do traditional pieces. And that one, I don't really barely remember doing. It was done in maybe a day and a half. It is one of my favorite pieces that I've done to date, especially physically, and it's a really good representation of how last year went for me, where I'll have to send you the picture. I've posted it on Mastodon. Actually, I could probably do a repost. I have a better camera now than when I originally took it. So I could do a repost of it and be like, guys, look. Really cool traditional art that I don't normally do very often. But essentially it is a piece that I took from... Okay. So, the first piece that I ever entered into an art competition, this is essentially what it's based off of. So essentially I did like a scale art piece, where I did like this really poor pastel and somehow managed to place in an art competition in like 8th grade. And then did this piece years and years later, and it looks phenomenal. And I look at it all the time because I can physically see my growth and then the meaning behind it after everything last year, so it's just one of those big pieces that I really like. And have up as a reminder, I guess. If that makes any sense. I think you talked about that one specifically before. Probably. So I think for that one, that's probably why, is just that one ended up with a lot more meaning to it than I realized at the time of making it. Granted, again, it was like fever dream making it, which is so weird. One of those like muse moments, I guess. But that's that one. I think as far as digital art pieces go, the ones that I like looking at are the poster piece that I showed you, which is actually like in my corner here on the one of them is in the corner on my overlay, which is the big serpent piece. And then more recently the Jabberwock one, actually. I really, really like that one. Because I can physically see my growth in it. And that ends up being the pieces I like looking at, is the ones that I can see my growth in the most. Because normally I can't see it, or I can't see like my own style or anything. If that... Again, I feel like I'm rambling. So if that makes any sense. It's portfolio day, so I've got an excuse to post and share things and show them. Okay, so what I've got to do is I don't think I'm getting rid of this layer which has those on it, and I'm gonna... Oh, that's the tiny one. Is this his face? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna combine all these together. I think I'm just gonna jump into inking him, honestly. At least getting like the basic inks in. Because I know what I'm doing with these. I've done kelp before. It just takes a really long time. And then I can kind of figure out his actual, you know, body, like the coloring and stuff. The coloring will come into play when, I'm actually on that phase. So, we'll get there. But, so let me get my inking stuff up. So let me lower the opacity here. What an adorable model. Is it with the VTuber kit? It is! So I saw Fusion talking about, well, not talking about, but like showing how they were making their model in this. What I actually ended up using the presets and stuff that were in it, because they kind of, if you've ever used Pit Crew or like the character maker games, they have that built in, so you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Also, hi Solaki, welcome. How was the That was the rest of the stream. This is our model at the moment is our placeholder while I'm fixing up the PNG tuber and then working on a secret side thing for stuff. Let me do a folder. Big brain, always do folders. So then I don't lose things. Okay, so this is our sketch layer. And then this one is the ink layer. And then we get super zoomed in. What is this size? This is an 8. Do I want to use an 8? Yes, we do. We do, because he's big. The stream ended in death? Oh no! You met final death? That's never good. But I really want to try that VTuber kit too. Honestly, I think you would have a lot of fun with it. And they do have a lot of, they do have alien options and stuff. Hang on, let me... Oh, okay, so here's... I'll let you do the cute character exploring, but it does have implemented stuff. That's what I meant to mention that in the beginning of stream. I forgot, hang on. So... They've got little commands. Did it show? Oh, I don't know if it showed. Oh, okay, I see. My own Twitch... That's funny. So, chat's kept up with, but my stream manager's Twitch recording, like, how it shows my streaming, that's funny. It's super behind. Okay, so if I do that... Okay, so if I close my stream manager, and then I reopen Twitch... How are we... Did it fix? Maybe it fixed, I don't know. Okay, here. Instead of looking at my stream manager, I'll look at Twitch. Or not Twitch, OBS. There was a hand. Okay, so there's head pat, there is boop. And then there is doodle, and you can like pretty much get all of these on their own commands, so they don't have to be named those specific things. So there's doodle. Oh, but my hair's in the way on where it put that one. But it goes on different parts of the face sometimes. I think that one's the bunny one by how it looks. But then it's something chat can play with while I'm doing stuff. Especially since it has audio cue, so I don't have to see it to know what happened. But then the marker eventually like fades off, and then more doodles can be added. But they have like alien antennas and wings and oh here, let me move my let me move myself up real quick. So I do have a tail. So it just kind of like idly swings and stuff. Let me put myself back. There we go. But the tracking on it's pretty good, and it, you know, it blinks when I blink, or it has like a hybrid mode, or it's pretty good software for being what it is, and being free at that. Oh, I don't wanna.
The hardest part is knowing that it's here. They said as I had feared, but it's death upon my ear. I know you're there, out somewhere in the
How does it feel like to have a tail? It gets in the way sometimes. We might knock into things, but you know, we're learning. We're getting there.
tell me you're okay when I can see the scars you keep. Feel I didn't know
Just got myself VTuber kit and opened it. Ooh, have fun with that. On it, like I said, their customization stuff's pretty good, and then the fact that you can implement your own little kit and stuff into it, like how Fusion's doing, is pretty cool.
are you doing up there great? I think I'm feeling fine, but the smile isn't mine. There just isn't much to say. I'm sitting here wiping these leaves away.
Alright, the song is too slow for me. Alright, this one might be a little faster. It's called Gasoline. Looks like it has the same trouble with glasses as VTube Studio has. It just isn't that easy with glasses. Yeah, I have that issue too. I think that was part of why it was freaking out on me earlier. It kind of catches the blinks a little bit better than what I've seen for other stuff. But when I loaded it, and you know, as I'm looking at the VTube stuff a little more beyond PNGs, it's I'm having to consider the fact that I do personally wear glasses. And was this thing pretty awesome? Yeah, it's pretty versatile for what it is. This one's a little heavy for streaming. I like this, but Dang, is this whole section just one person? Someone put a whole album up here? Oh no, just three from the same thing. There we go, and then, yeah, maybe we add some, you know, a little bit of thickness on his little tendrils here that we've got going on. Ooh, no. Brain went, we should shade that, and we're not on shading yet. Oh god. When it comes to inking stuff, that is like my favorite thing, a part of inking these days, is doing the shading and just the thicker, like heavy darks on stuff. He's looking pretty good so far. I'm very, very happy about that. Okay, we will... do that. And then I gotta clean up this line just a touch. Oop, not that much. Okay, now we can go for his eye. Ooh, no, that's a little too thick. Alright, neat. Hims. So I've been thinking about how his paws are shaped, right? And since we have him as like this big living kelp forest, I mean he's got to rest at some point, right? Especially since he has legs. So what if he, when he needs EP time, right? Because it'll give his kelp forest looks a bit more use. What if he just sinks to the bottom and like half buries himself into the sand? And you know, in order to bury yourself, especially something this big, you'd need pretty big paws for it. So I'm thinking maybe that's what he's got them for. Okay, let me see. How does he look without his lines? Oh, he's looking cute. Him's looking cute, guys. Oh, so you had asked me where, I think it was maybe last stream, where it ends with the hatching of the creatures. The answer I've come up with is that when I get around to making the maybe like a loading screen, or like you know, like a be right back kind of screen, just it'll be a terrarium and it'll have all of the funky buddies that we've hatched on the screen. That's the conclusion I've come to. So we might run out of room on the desk, but that doesn't mean they won't be in the rest of the room. fix those. They're headed not in the right direction. Chumby. Chumby boy. Him. Getting some stretchies in. There we go. Okay. Oop, that's the eraser. You don't want that. Do I like that? No, I don't really like that light. It's... no. And I'm gonna skip this song. There we go. I'm gonna fix this line, because I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's wrong. It sits over his toes. And then we do his back leggy. I do like where that ended up, actually. And then I can erase these. It's actually not bad if only because he's into ocean. Oh man, speaking of like chumby things in the ocean, right? My sibling was not aware of how blobfish actually look when they're in the proper environment and not, you know, half exploded. And man, she walked up to me after she pulled up a picture, because it was very out of the blue that she went and looked up a picture finally. But she walked up to me just looking so sad and was like, why do they look like that above the surface? And I was like, oh, you poor kid. I'm so sorry that you've discovered how that looks now. Yeah. That's a blobfish. That's what they actually look like. They're very pretty when they're in their proper environment. So that was a very interesting conversation to have. Everybody dunks on the blobfish until they know what they actually look like, which is to say they're very pretty fish. However, Cabbage here him's just chumby.
Scatty, come let's get it cracking. Drum and bass will make a sad man happy. Scatty, come let's get it cracking. Crowd is on a come up, but it ain't mixed money. Scatty, come let's get it cracking.
Gotta extend his toes out a little bit, so it doesn't look like he has his feet like pressed down. He's not pressing down on nothing. No, I don't like that line either. Ugh.
Scatty, come let's get it cracking. Drum and bass will make a sad man happy. Scatty, come let's get it cracking. Crowd is on a come up, but it ain't mixed money. Scatty, come let's get it cracking. Make the girl them broke the body and the man them suck the mic. Yeah, Scatty, coming like the peaking of the magic, smoking the air like.
There we go. It's a little better.
Smoking the air like Selassie.
him spin. And then... Alright, so then we just got his back to do, and then we go back to his kelp on his face. Ooh, I pressed a little too hard, and then my hand slipped. There we go. He's looking majestic. I think I'll skip this one. Alright, let me see here. Okay, I had to check one little thing. No, I think we can get started maybe on some of his kelps before I have to get rolling. We gotta get his little tendy, his little tendrils over here. Alright, so there's those. And now, because the rest of his lines are looking pretty good, I'm gonna do his kelp on a separate layer as I figure them out. So let's see. Actually, if you've never seen, you know, kelp before, it's very, like, crinkly. Alright, well, that's one kelpie. So now we get the other side in. I'm gonna skip this song too. Wabi Sabi is what this one's called. Ooh, no. Alright, so he's got his two main ones. And then... I think this is where we'll leave him for today. However, I do want to keep working on him specifically on stream. The only thing I might do is maybe fill in a little bit more kelp. Otherwise, the entire next stream will be just kelp. So I might fill in his kelp a little more. But I do think I'm gonna keep doing him specifically on stream. I think that'd be a lot of fun to keep doing. having a little on-stream project while I'm working on other stuff off of stream. But in the meantime, I've got to do two separate things. First things first, I have got to load Twitch on my computer. Oh, it's already loaded, so I can get the raid thing pulled up. For one, because we gotta raid somebody. Obviously, we always raid somebody. Gotta share the love. But first, I have to do the thing where I talk about myself briefly. And like I had mentioned at the beginning of the stream, no artist genuinely likes doing that. We're all a bunch of hermits. We'd rather it, you know, be able to, like... Y'all know what I'm saying. But in the meantime, so, if you like my art, our lovely community that we're building here, and all that loveliness, we have got our Discord with all of our lovely people. You know, our lovely community that we're building. We've got Imp there, and all of our lovely other streamers, our other artists, and some other cool friendos hanging out. If you like the stuff that I do in between, if you want to see what I end up posting for Portfolio Day for some of my older stuff, then we've got Mastodon and Blue Sky. And as you can see, I am a whole artist. I'm a freelance illustrator. I'm working on a comic. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, then we have our Patreon. And with our Patreon, there's also a shop connected to it. You do not have to be a member of the Patreon to do the, you know, do the commissioning thing. So, there we go. Now, with all of that said, now we find somebody to raid. So who is awake and around? Oh, our other thing. How does, hang on, is it this? It's not that. We have a throne, so if you want to help get the local fae some some of the you know, a new graphics tablet, we have crowdfunding for that at the moment, so I can stop fighting mine. But so let's see. Waiting for stuff to catch up. Let me reload this. Because Twitch decided to freak out now for some reason. There we go. Okay. But alright, so let's see who we're gonna raid. Who's uppies? We've got lots of people that are uppies. Let's see, we've got Carolyn, Mel, Bruce, Tubbs still going.